UGC NET JRF exam. Solved paper. History paper 2. 2019. Which of the following not true about Mill's history of British India? A. It founded the traditional institution of India static and retrogressive. B. The analysis made by Mills suited the needs of imperial government. C. It became a textbook on India for the British officers of the Indian Civil Services at Haileybury College. D. It was not informed by the English utilitarian philosophy. And the answer is option D. It was not informed by the English utilitarian philosophy. Match list 1 with list 2. I directly go to the answer. List 1 text, list 2 authors. Kavyadarsha, Dandin. Astadayayi, Panini. Mahabhashya, Patanjali. Tandraloka, Abhinavagupta. Number 3. Third question is, which is not true about Bahur site? What is not true about Bahur site? A. It is situated in Rajasthan. B. For its purely Mesolithic pre-pottery phase, we have carbon dates in the range of 5365 to 3775 BC. C. From its very beginning, traces of agriculture have been found. D. Zabu, ox, sheep, goat and pig were domesticated right from c. 5000 BC. And the answer is option C. From its very beginning, traces of agriculture have been found. Fourth question. Match list 1 with the list 2. I directly go to the answer. Avanti, Malwa region of central India. Gandhara, modern Peshawar and Rawalpindi districts and the Kashmir Valley. Chedi, eastern part of Bundelkhand in central India. Vaji, north of the Ganga up to the Nepal hills. Question number 5. In which of the following regions Kalibangan was situated where a large number of sites of Proto-Harappan culture have been discovered? A. Sindh, B. Punjab, C. Rajasthan, D. Gujarat. And the answer is option C. Rajasthan. Number 6th question. Identify the site which does not attest to the presence of horse. A. Galihai, 1895 to 1695 BC. B. Barzaham, 1700 BC. C. Perak, C. 1300 BC. D. Inam Gaon, C. 1400 BC. And the answer is option B. Barzaham, 1700 BC. Question number 7. The public display of inscribed text on rock faces and freestanding pillars was followed by Indian ruler in imitation of the practices followed by the A. Achaemenids, B. Greeks, C. Sakas, D. Parthians. And the answer is option A. Achaemenids. Question number 8. Identify the temple from the group of temples at Mahakuteshwara near Badami comprising a sanctum and a portico which is of some importance. A. Galaganada, B. Sangameshwara, C. Kuchimaligudi, D. Kadasiddeshwar. And the answer is option D. Sangameshwara. Question number 9. Which of the following is incorrect? A. Long after writing became an everyday practice, a bias towards oral persisted. B. Bhartrihari declared that understanding has the form of speech. Speech-informed awareness is the foundation of all knowledges. C. The Indians thus privileged of Grandhastha over Kandhastha. D. The view of Latin grammarians of the 9th century was quite contrast to the normative Indian views. In Europe, the learned was therefore the literatus. And the answer is option C. The Indians thus privileged of Grandhastha over Kandhastha. Question number 10. Perhaps it was much for the Saka's cultural innovation for the political domination that was new era came to be named after them. What, according to Sheldon Pollock, was this cultural innovation? A. Heavily armored cavalry. B. Parthian shot. C. Use of wine, meat and tailored garments. D. Use of Sanskrit for political purposes. And the answer is option D. Use of Sanskrit for political purposes. Question number 11. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason. Assertion. The age of the Guptas is often described as a classical age in the sphere of cultural developments. Reason. While appreciating the artistic ideals of the Gupta period, it is argued that it marks one of the several epochs that saw impressive developments in artistic activity. In the context of the above two statements, which of the following is correct? A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both assertion and R reason are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true but R is false. D. A is false but R is true. Here A is assertion, R is reason, and the answer is option B. Both assertion and reason A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Hereafter, I will go these kind of questions directly for the answer. Question number 12. Which of the following is wrongly matched? A. R.S. Sharma, Urban Decay in India. B. Joanna Williams, The Art of Gupta India, Empire and Provinces. C. A.L. Basham, The Wonder That Was India. D. Rumila Thapar, Myth and Reality, Studies in the Formation of Indian Culture. And the answer is option D. Rumila Thapar, Myth and Reality, Studies in the Formation of Indian Culture. Question number 13. The radiocarbon dating is applied in which of the following? A. Epigraphy. B. Archaeology. C. Manuscripts. D. Archival materials. And the answer is option D. Archaeology. Question number 14. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. Ajatashatru is believed to have murdered his father in about 493 BC. He was annexed Kosala despite the fact that its ruler was his maternal uncle. Reason. Ajatashatru, the son of Bimbisara of Magad, was impatient to become the ruler of Magad and annexed the regions. In the context of the above two statements, which of the following is right? The answer is both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 15. Which of the following Mahajanapadas supplied men and materials to the Persian army fighting against the Greeks? A. Gandhara. B. Kamboja. C. Mahada. D. Vatsa. And the answer is option A. Gandhara. Question number 16. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1 is sites, list 2 is chronology. Kili Gul Muhammad. 4555 to 3885 BC. Dham Sadhat 3370 to 2530 BC. Kalibangan 2980 to 1865 BC. Rana Kundai 4550 to 3165 BC. Question number 17. Which of the following is considered as the first surviving Indian text containing a systematic discussion of astronomical instruments? A. Aryabhatya, B. Surya Siddhanta, C. Brahmasputa Siddhanta, D. Khandakayaka. And the answer is option D, Brahmasputa Siddhanta. Question number 18. Which of the following refers to a local center of exchange in between small periodic markets and large trade centers? A. Mandapika, B. Devaram, C. Ghana, D. Agrahara. And the answer is option A, Mandapika. Question number 19. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1 is authors, list 2 articles. Irfan Habib, Imagining River Saraswati, a defense of common sense. Bibi Lal, perhaps the earliest plowed field so far excavated anywhere in the world. R.H. Meadow, the domestication and exploitation of plants and animals in the greater Indus Valley. Marcia A. Fentress, regional intersection in Indus Valley urbanization. Question number 20. About Rajashekara, which of the following statements is correct? A. He was the most popular ruler 1985 to 2014 CE of the Chola dynasty. B. He was a court poet. C. 9th to 10th century CE of the Pratihara rulers Mahendrapala and Mahipala. C. He was first known ruler of the Satavahanas. C. 2000 BCE mentioned in the Puranas. C. He was first known ruler of the Satavahanas. C. 230 BCE mentioned in the Puranas. D. He is known to have composed Siriparanrupathal, one of the Tendilis of the Sangam anthology. And the answer is option B. He was a court poet. C. 9th to 10th century CE of the Pratihara rulers Mahendrapala and Mahipala. Question number 21. Which of the following statements is not correct concerning Dharma Shastra text? A. They refer to the four vathas and norms of social living. B. They do not refer to various jatis. C. They refer to Dash Dharma and Kula Dharma. D. They insist on everybody to follow the dharma of his varna. And the answer is option C. They refer to Das Dharma and Kula Dharma. Question number 22. Which of the following is not correctly matched? A. Nahara style. The base of the Nahara temples is square with a number of projections in the middle of each side, giving it a cruciform shape. B. Dravida style. The most important feature of this style is its pyramidal Shekaras. C. Kashmiri style. It is purely a local style with no traces of any influence from the outside world. D. Vasara style. It is a hybrid of northern and southern styles. And the answer is option C. Kashmiri style. It is purely a local style with no traces of any influence from the outside world. Question number 23. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason. Assertion. A. The nationalist historical writings saw the bipolarity of the spiritual content of Indian culture and the materialistic basis of Western culture as an essential and inherent difference. Reason R. This was in part a reaction to the view that religion was such a central factor in traditional society of India that it obstructed progress. Both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation. Question number 24. One of the Ahar iron disposed of all 14 seed dates for the earliest iron levels in India appeared to cluster around 1000 BC or little earlier. Whose opinion is this? A. Rakesh Tiwari, B. B.N.R. Alchin, C. Irfan Habib, D. B. Sasikaran. And the answer is option C, Irfan Habib. Question number 25. With regard to Agraharas, which of the following statements are correct? A. It was Sanskrit term used especially C. mid 1st millennium CE onwards. B. It was a term to designate a category of land grants made to Brahmanas. C. Generally these grants were in perpetuity. D. Donis were given in the right to organize production and collect revenue and other resources from the land. Select the correct answers from the options given below. A, B, and D only, B, B and D only, C, A, B, C and D, D, A, B and C only. And the answer is option B, B and D only. Question number 26. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason. Assertion A. There is little doubt now that certain facets of Indus civilization survived into the second and the first millennium cultures. Reason R. The earlier hiatus between the Indus civilization and the Vedic culture is no longer acceptable. And the answer is both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of A. Question number 27. Which one of the following statements with regard to Bharatpur archaeological site is not correct? A. It is located in West Bengal. B. It is situated in Rajasthan, from where the traces of bones of migratory birds were found. C. For period 1, there was evidence for fishing, hunting and agriculture. Period 2. D. Period 2 provided evidence of the use of iron and northern black polished ware. And the answer is option B. It is situated in Rajasthan, from where the traces of bones of migratory birds were found. Question number 28. Which of the following is not true about the different positions ascribed to mixed caste by minimum? A. Children born of wives 1 degree lower in Varna status were somewhat acceptable as a part of the twice born. B. Those born from women separated in status by 2 or 3 degree led the creation of a new group within the Sudra fold. C. In case the status of a woman was higher than that of a man, the progeny of such marriage was placed lower in status than the two parents. D. Anuloma marriages were treated as more violative of the sacred law than Pratiloma. And the answer is option D. Anuloma marriages were treated as more violative of the sacred law than Pratiloma. Question number 29. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason R. Assertion A. It is argued that eulogy of poets was not the basis of legitimation of political power in early historical South India. Reason R. The poets of the period were dependent on kings for their material well-being. And the answer is A is false but R is true. Directions. Question number 30 to 31. Read the following passage and answer the given questions. The political history of early medieval period saw the proliferation of states and land grants. Land grants of Brahmanas played a significant role in the legitimation of political power and had significant impact on agrarian relations. There was agrarian expansion in various parts of the subcontinent and rural societies became increasingly stratified. This was not a period of urban decay. This is most evident from South India, where craft cities, trade and trade guilds flourished. Trade links between the subcontinent. China and Southeast Asia expanded significantly. Devotional worship was a marked feature of religious thought and practice. Temples function not only as sacred spaces but also as the core of urban centers and as political symbols. The patronage they attracted made them points of convergence of the activities and aspirations of diverse social groups. Significant development occurred in the cultural sphere, including a range of texts in Sanskrit and vernacular languages. There was an efflorescence and refinement of temple architecture and sculpture, and distinct regional styles became apparent. During c. 600 to 1200 CE, the developments at the political, social, economic and cultural levels crystallized into distinct regional formations and patterns. Question number 30. What consequences flowed from the land grants given to Brahmanas? 1. They buttressed the position of rulers. 2. They led to the growth of agriculture, as not unoften the grantee has to bring fresh land under cultivation. 3. The undifferentiated rural society got further stratified. 4. The practice of endowing land grants to religious institutions and personages began from c. 600 CE. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A. 1, 2, 3, 4. B. 1, 2, 3. C. 1, 3, 4. D. 2, 3, 4. And the answer is B. 1, 2, 3. Question number 31. The term early medieval referred to here is indicated to have begun around A. 1206 CE, B. 12th century, C. 11th century, D. 600 CE. And the answer is option D. 600 CE. Question number 32. Which of the following taxes fell in the category of granting free trade facilities and reduction in the taxes? A. Saddam, B. Ukatha, C. Mappa, D. Rahdari. Select the correct answer from the options given below. A and B, B, B and C, C, B and D, D, A, C and D. And the answer is option D, A, C and D. Question number 33. Which one of the following products was not introduced in India by the Portuguese? A. Tobacco, B. Betel, C. Cashew, D. Pineapple. And the answer is option B. Betel. 34. Which one of the following revenue grants was not granted to the religious intelligentsia? A. Amlak, B. Idrar, C. Inam, D. Okaf. And the answer is option D. Okaf. 35. Which of the following sources deal with the history of Sindh? 1. Fatawa I Jahandari. 2. Mirat I Sikandari. 3. Turkish I Tahiri. 4. Mazhar I Sajani. Select your answer from the options given below. A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2, 3 and 4 only, C. 1 and 3 only, D. 3 and 4 only. And the answer is option D. 3 and 4 only. 36. Mongol Khan Tarmashrin invaded India in the reign of which of the following Tughlaq rulers? A. Gyazuddin Tughlaq, B. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, C. Firoza Tughlaq, D. Sultan Muhammad. And the answer is option D. Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Which of the following statements are correct? 1. There was a growth of sectarian religious groups during the early medieval India, among them a doctrinal cult emphasizing on devotional worship gained popularity. 2. Temples became dynamic spaces with political, social, cultural and economic functions all rolled into one. 3. The urban centers of early medieval India can be grouped into two categories. One may be called administrative towns and the other commercial towns. 4. As the temples attracted diversified social groups, they dented the narrative favoring exclusion. Select the answer from the options given below. A. 1, 2, 4, B. 2, 3, 4, C. 1, 2, 3, D. 1 and 2. And the answer is option A. 1, 2, 4. Question number 38. Regarding Takavi loans, which of the following statements are not correct? 1. These were given to peasants for agricultural purposes. 2. These were given to traders for trade purposes. 3. These were advanced through the Chaudhries and Mukaddams who distributed them among the individual peasants. 4. Chaudhries and Mukaddams did not stand surety for the repayment. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A. 1, 2 and 3 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. D. 2 and 4 only. And the answer is option D. 2 and 4 only. Question number 39. For ensuring safety on the roads and for extending comforts to the travelers, he built sarais on the highway at the distance of 2 crores. The travelers could get beds and cooked food. There also was provision for uncooked food supplies. He built some 1,700 such sarais. Who is this ruler? A. Ibrahim Lodi. B. Sher Shah. C. Akbar. D. Shah Jahan. The answer is option B. Sher Shah. Question number 40. Identify the two emperors of India and Uzbekistan who agreed to fix Hindu Kush or Hindu Kush as the frontier of the two empires. A. Akbar and Abdullah Khan Uzbek. B. Jahangir and Abdullah Khan Uzbek. C. Jahangir and Abdul Mumin Uzbek. D. Shah Jahan and Imam Quli. Question number 41. Sufism began to turn pantheistic only when the ideas of Ibn al-Arabi d. 1240 began to exert their influences, first through the Persian poetry of Jalaluddin Rumi 1207-73 and Abdur Rahman Jami 1414-92, and then through the endeavors within India of Ashraf Jahangir Semnani early 15th century. About the same time that the pantheism of Sankaracharya school of Vedanta was attaining increasing influence within Brahmanical thought. From the following, identify the Mughal emperor who was the first to recognize the thought. A. Babur. B. Akbar. C. Jahangir. D. Aurangzeb. And the answer is option C. Jahangir. Question number 42. Which of the following statements are correct? A. Ibn Battuta speaks highly of the mangoes produced in India. B. He mentions of its production through planting of the kernel. C. Ibn Battuta mentions that practice of mango grafting was very much in vogue in India. Select the correct answer from the options given below. A only, B, C only, C, A and B, D, B and C. And the answer is option C, A and B. 43. Who built the Sahibabad garden in Shahjahanabad, which was used as a serai for the richest merchants? A. Nur Jahan. B. Raushan Ara Begum. C. Jahan Ara Begum. D. Jinat Unnisa. And the answer is option C, Jahan Ara Begum. 44. From where the concept of free kitchen, langur, was adopted by the Sikhs? A. Hindu temples. B. Churches. C. Sufi dargahs. D. Sankaracharya's athas. And the answer is option C, Sufi dargahs. 45. Which of the following are not relevant for the emergence of regional formations during the period between c. 600 to 1200 CE? 1. Proliferation of Sanskrit text. 2. Growth of vernacular language. 3. Refinement in architecture and art. 4. Emergence of distinct regional styles in art and architecture. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A. 2 and 4, B. 3 and 4, C. 1 and 3, D. 1 and 2. And the answer is option C, 1 and 3. 46. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion and the other labeled as reason. Assertion. The early medieval period possessed some critical features of feudalism, but it significantly differed from European feudalism. Reason. Or the early medieval South India was a period of urban growth, as is evidenced by the flourishing crafts trade guilds and urban centers. In the context of the above two statements, which of the following is correct? The answer is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of E. 47. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1 source, list 2 region. Chachnama, Sindh. Riyaz as Salatin, Bengal. Mirat-i Ahmadi, Gujarat. Nushka-i Dilkusha, Deccan. 48. Which of the following statements are correct with regard to Sikhism? A. From the 1750s onwards, the Sikh Dals and Missiles groups became more and more powerful, led by individual chiefs, Sardars, who organized troops of increasingly professional mounted musketeers. B. There was the tradition of an annual Sarbat Khalsa at Chak Guru, Amritsar, but because of dissension, each chief tended to carve out a separate territory for himself. C. The process was at last checked by Ranjit Singh, 1780 to 1839, who established a kingdom in the Punjab in the name of the Khalsa. D. The Gurus were all Khatris, but the principal lieutenants, the Masand, were mostly Jats in the 17th century. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A, B and D only. B, C and D only. C, A, B, C, D. D, C and D only. And the answer is A. Option C, A, B, C, D. 49. With regard to Guru Nanak, which of the following statements is not correct? A. When Nanak was 16, his parents arranged his marriage. Later, he became a merchant and a farmer. B. Bhai Mardana joined Guru Nanak and they became lifelong friends. C. He travelled from Panipat to Assam, visiting Hindu and Sufi pilgrim centers. D. Guru Nanak was the founder of Sikhism and first of 10 Gurus. They haven't mentioned the answer for this question. Question number 50. With regard to music, which of the following statements is not correct? A. The Lajat-e-Sikandari, a work on classical music, was written under the patronage of Sultan Sikandar. B. Abdul Fazl names 36 musicians who played vocal and instrumental music at Akbar's court. C. Shah Jahan did not encourage music in his court and did not reward the musicians. He was interested in architectural works. D. For the first 10 years of his reign, Aurangzeb generously rewarded his musician and appeared to be devoted to music. And the answer is option C. Shah Jahan did not encourage music in his court and did not reward the musicians. He was interested in architectural